show. As always, it's Fran, Excel Mindset Coach, helping you find your very own pair of positive pants so you can get out of your own way and live a life that you love. Today, I am talking about why you need to pay attention to your thoughts. You will have heard this so many times and probably been like, yeah, whatever. So I'm hopefully going to change that for you today. Fresh back from having an incredible weekend at the very first Positive Pants Planning Live. I shall be updating you more on that in the future, but that was incredible. Room full of amazing little action takers. So I am super excited for their year ahead. And the next one will be at the midway point on June the 29th. So I'm going to kick this episode off with a little Chinese proverb. Be careful of your thoughts, for your thoughts become your words. Be careful of your words, for your words become your actions. Be careful of your actions, for your actions become your habits. Be careful of your habits, for your habits become your character. And be careful of your character, for your character becomes your destiny. Ooh. Okay, so this is a really big subject. And one that when you can actually really grasp it and really pay attention to what I'm telling you, can completely change your life, like it did mine. Okay, so you've all heard people saying, like, thoughts become things, I'm sure. But you've never really looked into the practicalities of what that actually means in the day-to-day, or considered it a little bit too woo for you, so totally discounted it anyway. So the way we think directly affects our lives. And this is something I was talking about a lot at Positive Pants Planning Live last week. So there is so much to explore. And my episodes are short and snappy. So there may be more to come on this one. But for now, I'm going to try and keep it as simple as possible. So it's basically how we end up with self-fulfilling prophecies. We prove ourselves right time and time again. See, oh, I knew it. Knew that was going to happen. Yeah. And then we repeat patterns that we don't want in our lives. And we do it time and time again. So it also creates coding in your subconscious that then affects what you do and how you behave. 95 to 99% of everything we do is based from our subconscious. So it's thinking habits, behavior habits, all of these things. And I was listening today to an amazing book called Focus. And it's all about how actually our attention, 47% of the time, what we're actually doing isn't where our attention is. It's bonkers, almost half our time. So your thoughts directly influence the way you feel about something. Yeah. Feelings, or the way you specifically feel about something, influences the actions that you then take or don't take. And then those actions directly create the results that you see in your life. So you either do or you don't have the outcome that you wanted, or you have exactly the outcome you predicted. Yeah, positive or negative. And you can probably think while I'm saying this at the moment, you're probably thinking of 100 times that you've done this. Yeah. So those results then reinforce your original thoughts, which in turn become your beliefs and form both thinking and behavior habits. Are you still with me? Yeah. Thoughts, feelings, actions, results, beliefs. Think of it in a nice big circle. I'm drawing it for you, but you can't necessarily see. So essentially, if we look at it like this, then we really can see that everything begins and ends with thoughts and beliefs. Yeah. So if we want to influence the way that we feel about things or the actions that we take, then what do we need to focus on changing? Your thoughts, and in turn, your beliefs. Yeah. So at the end of the day, if you don't believe something is possible for you, then it really won't be. It sounds bonkers, but it's the way it works. You will absolutely self-sabotage to prove yourself right. This goes some way to explain the law of attraction in slightly more practical terms. So when you believe something can be yours, it influences your thoughts, then your feelings, then your actions, which is the key piece of the puzzle that people often miss out when talking about law of attraction. You have to take action. And in turn, it influences your results. So what all this does, all these thoughts, is telling your reticular activating system, which is known as the RAS, what to filter out for you. Now, what the heck is the RAS? It's a group of nerves at your brainstem. So it's one of its many functions is essentially to act as your brain's spam filter. So we're bombarded on a second by second basis with millions and millions and millions of pieces of information to process that simply wouldn't be possible. Sight, sounds, smells, tastes, everything. It would be completely overwhelming, sensory overload. So the RAS gets to work to filter out what you need, which is why I'm introducing you to it. Those little moments where you see the right ad or hear the right conversation or you meet the right person, or you're in a noisy, crowded room and yet you still manage to hear your name, those things. You have essentially been telling the RAS what to filter out for you. The trouble is it is based on any parameters that you give it. And when you're not aware of that, that's when things can get tricky. You see, it's based all around your value system, your beliefs and your thoughts. It's kind of that, think of it as that friend that desperately tries to please you, but gets it so wrong sometimes. It filters out all the evidence that you need to reinforce what you're asking it to. It wants you to be right. So if you believe something about yourself, it will make sure it shows you all the reasons that you're right and none of the evidence that you're not. You are directly telling it to filter out the evidence for the contrary. So if you're telling yourself you're useless at something, that's what you're going to get. It will show you the black and the white. I am not, and none of the grey, none of the potential, none of the possibility, unless you ask it to. So you can see how this can go a little bit awry, yeah? But the fun bit is, it really is all in your hands. You get to tell it what you want. And this is where all those lovely times I've told you that affirmations, meditation, visualization aren't woo-woo becomes even more clear, and you start to get on board with my woo what if train. Woo! Makes me very excited. So I will link to those episodes as well. When you start to use these tools, which I have covered before, and use them regularly and start to shift your thinking, you literally become a different person. And that person is the one who gets what they want out of life, who gets out of the frustration loop and stops patterns repeating themselves. And hopefully this all puts a little fire in your belly to work out what those thoughts and beliefs actually are that are keeping you stuck, so you can get to work changing them. That is the key. When you can take things out of the subconscious and into the conscious, that's when you can challenge them. That's when you can start to say, hang on a minute, is that actually true? Do I really believe that? What's all the evidence? And start looking for it. Yeah. Hopefully it's shown you the importance of setting proper goals. You can see how they work now. Yeah, you can see exactly what information you're giving the RAS, being really, really clear and knowing what you want and going through all the different processes of actually telling your brain what you want. That's where the magic happens. There are so many ways that our brain can work against us in this game, but this is very much a way that we can start to get it to work with us and for us. Yeah. Think about what labels you've given yourself throughout your life. I'm a terrible procrastinator, or I'm no good at timekeeping, I have no self-discipline. All of those, you can see very, very quickly how those sorts of thinking patterns and those sorts of beliefs can become destructive. Because if you think you're useless, how are you expecting to get anything else? Think about the I always and the I never statements that you use about yourself. Genuinely get a pen and paper and start writing these things out. You've got to think about the beliefs that you have around your business. Catch yourself in those negative thought processes that you want to get rid of, so you can then challenge them. And just start to look for any evidence any evidence you can to prove that you're wrong. Yeah? So to give you even more evidence, spend a little time thinking about something you want to consider a sign. This is a nice little exercise for you. So it's something that will empirically prove to you that this is something you can do. Because you've got this in your brain, I've got this in my brain. We all have this. We all have this system. And it makes so much sense when you lay it out like that. We cannot physically take on all the messages and data that we're bombarded with every day. So it makes sense that we have something like this that filters things out. Yeah? So pick anything. Keep it super simple. Let's go with a fox, for example. I love a fox. I live in the country. I love a fox. So wake up, think about how you want to see a fox today. You will start to notice all the times and occasions that you will start to spot foxes, and it'll freak you out. You will start to notice It will be in adverts. It'll be in images. It'll be in shop display windows. I used to take photos every single time I used to see them and send them to my mama. She used to get very annoyed. She's like, all right, I get it now. Okay. Proving it to other people. You'll see it in like car stickers. You'll start to see it everywhere. Whatever your sign is, mine's a fox and whatever you want it to be. And you will start to see it. And once you've done that, and then you're in on this, you're with me. You're like, okay, I get it. I see how this works. Then it's time to do the important work. So start telling your brain who you want to be, what you want to see, what you want to achieve, and then just let the magic happen. In all seriousness, everything is possible because it's there. It's not magic. It's actually just our brains thinking they're being very clever. So I hope that was really, really helpful. And obviously it is a huge subject. So if you have any questions or if you want any particular episodes, drop me an email on hello@franexcel.com, 2 L's. And I will add it to my roster. I have some lovely episodes planned in, but I always really want to know what you guys want to make sure that I am giving you what you need. So drop me an email, hello@franexcel.com, and get it on the list. It's such, I don't know why they don't teach this stuff in schools, genuinely, really don't. Because when you can understand it in these sort of layman's terms, the basics of it, it really makes you think, right? And it would very much make you try and catch yourself in those negative moments. So, as always, I do hope that was really, really helpful. And as always, I will see you next week. Bye. Thinking.